Today, we are diving into something called chronotype hacking. We're going to figure out how to customize your own personal sleep schedule so you can unlock your absolute peak performance, no matter how crazy and busy your life is. So let's get right into it. First things first, let's talk about that daily battle that so many of us know all too well. The feeling that you are constantly fighting your own internal clock. You know, for all you busy parents and professionals out there, that standard 9 to 5 schedule, well, it can feel like a constant uphill climb. I mean, does this sound at all familiar? You have to drag yourself out of bed, your brain just feels foggy, and you're already reaching for that third cup of coffee before your first meeting of the day, just wondering how everyone else seems so bright-eyed and energetic? Look, you're not lazy, and you are definitely not alone. Well, there's actually a scientific name for this feeling. It's called social jet lag. And it's exactly what happens when your internal body clock is completely out of sync with your social obligations, like work or school. Sleeping in on the weekends and then forcing yourself to get up early on Monday morning feels awful because your body literally thinks it's switching time zones. And get this, for every 1 hour time zone you cross when you're traveling, your body needs about a full day to adjust. Social jet lag forces you to go through that same kind of disruption every single week. So it's really no wonder Monday mornings can be so brutal. So, what's the solution here? Well, it all starts with understanding the science behind your own unique energy rhythm. It's time for you to meet your chronotype. Okay, so let's start with the foundation. Every single one of us has something called a circadian rhythm. Just think of it like your body's 24-hour master clock. It's the thing that tells you when to feel sleepy and when to feel awake, and it's super influenced by light. Now, your chronotype? That's different. That's your personal setting for that master clock. It's literally baked into your genes, and it dictates your unique daily rhythm of energy when you're naturally wired to be focused, creative, and at your absolute best. This has nothing to do with willpower. It's all about your biology. And this brings us to the really fun part. Sleep expert Dr. Michael Bruce has categorized all these different rhythms into 4 distinct chronotypes, and he calls them the sleep animals. So let's figure out which one you are. Now, what's crucial to understand is that we're not all the same, not even close. About half of the entire population are bears, then you have lions and wolves, they each make up about 15 to 20%, and finally, the rare dolphins make up about 10%. Try and see if you can spot yourself as we go through each one. First up, we have the lion. These are your classic early birds, the ones who wake up before their alarm even thinks about going off, totally ready to take on the world. Lions are just natural leaders and planners. They are unbelievably productive in the morning, just smashing through their to-do lists before most people have even had their first sip of coffee. But that energy can totally crash and crash hard in the late afternoon. Dr. Bruce really just puts it perfectly. He calls them optimistic, get-it-done people. If that sounds even remotely like you might just be a lion. Next up, we have the most common chronotype of all, the bear. A bear's energy cycle basically follows the sun. They're not extreme morning people, but they definitely get the job done during daylight hours. Bears are really the backbone of the traditional 9 to 5 world. They're outgoing, reliable team players who have a nice, steady work pace. Yeah, they might need a coffee and maybe hit the snooze button a couple of times to get going, but once they're up, they are solid and dependable. And now, for all you night owls out there, the wolf. Wolves are the ones whose brains truly come alive long after the sun has gone down. Early mornings are their absolute enemy, but their evening creativity is pretty much unmatched. Wolves are often really creative, intuitive, and a bit more impulsive. They definitely struggle in a world that was basically built for bears and lions, but they thrive when they can work on their own schedule. They often have 2 creative peaks, one in the afternoon and another one late at night. This quote just perfectly captures the wolf's rhythm. Their entire system, everything from their energy to their appetite, is just shifted to later in the day. For them, a 9 a.m. meeting feels like it's happening at the crack of dawn. And finally, we have the dolphin. Just like the animal they're named after, dolphins are light, restless sleepers. They often feel wired and tired. Their minds are just always running, which can make it incredibly hard to switch off and get that deep, restorative rest they need. Dolphins are often highly intelligent and super detail-oriented, but they're also prone to anxiety and perfectionism.
Really, their biggest challenge is just calming their racing minds so they can get the sleep that they desperately need.
Okay, so now that you probably have a pretty good idea of which type you are, let's get to the most important part, the actual plan. How do you use this knowledge to optimize your day for peak performance? Using some fantastic insights from WorkLifeOS, we've put together some simple, really powerful hacks for each chronotype. Think of this as your personalized blueprint for a more energetic and productive day. Okay, for all you lions out there, it is all about capitalizing on that morning energy surge. A protein-heavy breakfast is going to fuel your brain for what are your golden hours between 8 a.m. and noon. This is when you do your deep, focused work. Save the easier stuff, the admin tasks, for the afternoon when your energy naturally starts to dip. Bears, your peak focus window arrives a little later, usually from about 10 a.m. to noon. You have to protect this time for your most important work. And a lunchtime walk? Absolutely crucial. It'll fight off that dreaded mid-afternoon slump and recharge you for any meetings or collaborative tasks you have later in the day. Wolves, your ideal schedule is a total game changer. Do not try to force creativity at 9 a.m. It's just not going to work. Instead, ease into your day. Your first real focused window doesn't even start until the afternoon. And your secret weapon? That second wave of creative energy that hits in the evening. This is when you can produce your absolute best work, long after everyone else has signed off for the day.
And finally, dolphins. Your plan is all about managing that wired energy. Start the day with a calming activity, maybe a meditation or journaling, just to quiet your mind. Use your morning intelligence for complex problem solving. But the most critical part for you is your wind down. You have to be disciplined about avoiding screens and creating a relaxing pre-sleep ritual to signal to your brain that it's finally time to rest. So, there you have it. The secret to peak performance. It isn't about forcing yourself into a schedule that just doesn't fit you. It's about understanding your own biology and learning how to work with it, not against it. It's time to hack your day your way. The power is completely in your hands now. You've got the blueprint. So let me ask you, now that you know your type, what is the one small change you're going to make tomorrow to start taking control of your internal clock?